Hi, can you give me a deep definition of self-redemption?
Self-redemption is the process of reclaiming one's sense of worth, integrity, or moral standing after experiencing failure, wrongdoing, or personal downfall. It involves deep self-reflection, taking responsibility for past actions, and making a genuine effort to transform and grow. Unlike external redemption, which depends on the forgiveness or validation of others, self-redemption is an internal journey, one that requires confronting guilt, making amends where possible, and striving to align one's actions with a renewed sense of purpose and ethical principles. At its core, self-redemption is about restoring inner balance and reclaiming one's identity from past mistakes. It often demands perseverance, as true change is not immediate, but built over time through consistent effort and self-discipline. It is not merely about erasing the past, but integrating it into one's personal growth, acknowledging the lessons learned, and using them to shape a better future. Would you say you're thinking about self-redemption in a personal way, or more as a philosophical concept? Are you reflecting on something specific in your own life, or just exploring the idea in general?
I'm just exploring the idea.
That's a great topic to explore. Self-redemption is such a powerful concept because it ties into identity, personal growth, and even the idea of second chances. Some people see it as a moral or spiritual process, while others view it as more psychological, like breaking free from self-imposed guilt or limitations. Do you think self-redemption requires external validation, or is it purely an internal process? It's a lot to think about. It's interesting how different people define it. Some believe you need forgiveness from others to truly redeem yourself, while others think it's all about personal accountability and self-acceptance.
Can you give me some examples?
Sure. Here are a few examples of self-redemption. 1. A person who struggled with addiction. After years of battling substance abuse, they recognize the harm it caused to themselves and others. Through therapy, support groups, and personal growth, they commit to a sober lifestyle, gradually regaining trust from loved ones and finding peace within themselves. Even if others are slow to forgive, they feel redemption through their own transformation. 2. A business leader who made unethical decisions. After a scandal, they admit their wrongdoings, apologize, and work to change the corporate culture they once fostered. They donate a portion of their earnings to charity and become an advocate for ethical business practices, not because they expect others to forgive them immediately, but because they want to live by their renewed values. 3. Someone who made a mistake in a relationship. They might have hurt a loved one by breaking trust, but instead of waiting for forgiveness, they take responsibility, make amends, and focus on personal growth. Whether it's seeking counseling or changing their behavior, their redemption comes from healing themselves, and whether or not the other person forgives them, they feel a sense of inner peace and restored integrity. In each case, redemption is not about erasing past mistakes, but learning from them and becoming better moving forward. Does any of these examples resonate with you?
Can you give me an example in a story?
Sure. Here's a short story about self-redemption. The road to redemption. Lena had always been driven by ambition. As a rising star in her company, she often overlooked her personal relationships, including the bond with her younger brother, Mark. One day, a major project at work went wrong, and Lena blamed Mark for a mistake that wasn't his fault. She yelled at him in front of their parents, causing a rift that lasted for months. Over time, the guilt ate away at Lena. She knew she was wrong, but pride kept her from apologizing. Her brother, once close and supportive, had started distancing himself. She felt trapped in her own actions, but deep down, she knew that her redemption wasn't about waiting for Mark to forgive her. It was about finding peace within herself. Lena took time away from work to reflect. She went to therapy, wrote in a journal about her fears and insecurities, and began to understand the roots of her outburst. She realized her anger wasn't really about Mark. It was about her own deep fears of failure. With new self-awareness, she reached out to him. "I was wrong," she said, her voice shaking. "I hurt you, and I've spent so much time regretting it. I can't undo the past, but I want to make things right, no matter how long it takes. Mark listened in silence. He didn't immediately say he forgave her, but the look in his eyes softened. He appreciated that she had finally faced her mistake and was willing to make amends, not because he demanded it, but because she needed to. It wasn't an easy road. It took months of rebuilding trust, but Lena didn't mind. Through this process, she learned that redemption wasn't about waiting for others to forgive her. It was about understanding her own flaws, taking responsibility, and doing the work to change. In the end, Lena didn't just redeem herself in Mark's eyes, she redeemed her own sense of peace and self-respect. This story reflects the internal journey of self-redemption, where the focus is on personal growth, accountability, and healing, even when forgiveness from others isn't immediate. Does this example speak to what you were thinking about?
Yes. It was so nice chatting with you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm glad we could chat. Take care.